Okay, let's talk about PvP. PvP, if you go into PvP here, you can see your PvP stats. Now, there's a few things I'll go over: the stats, the pets, and the skills. However, I'm not a master at PvP. In fact, at my level, I find everyone does it differently than me. Even though I did place sixth, that's mainly because I was active right before reset, so I could hit a good rank. Um, so how am I going to explain this? Okay, first off, in PvP, if you go to stats, you need to go to your PvP stats, right? And the only thing I focus on is skill damage and attack damage. Um, for attacking bosses and stuff, I definitely have dodge there. But in PvP, generally people aren't investing into accuracy. They aren't investing into, fatal rate and stuff like that. Maybe once you get high level, that's something you could consider. But I, not only on this account, but my main account, this is the same setup. I do a 20-to-1 ratio. And I've gone over this in my other videos, but so when you go to PvP, attack damage is 86,000. I have flat attack, and then I have 28,900%. That's my 20. And then skill damage, which is 1,434,000 or 1,434%. What I like to do, all you have to do is times that 1,434 by 20, or if you're good at math, you can just look at it, times it by 2 and add a 0. So 14 by 2 would be 2,800, and then add a 0, 28,000. So yeah, I'm working with 28,680, and I have 28,906. Close enough. I think that's good. The 21 ratio has done me well. But like I said, there's a new method people are doing where they add to HP percent. I haven't figured this out yet. And even though I placed 6 last time, but that's is probably just because I was online and actively playing, and where stronger players weren't. So once I figure that out, I'll make another video. By no means, again, am I the master at this. It's just someone asked for a video, and I don't think everything I'm saying is useless. So roll with me here. But as the way I play currently on this account, skill damage and attack damage, and as you're leveling it up, like, you can reset them and then put 100 or 200 points into one and see where you're at. Like, okay, I need more skill damage, put more into skill damage until all your points are set up. Secondly, I guess we will go into pets. Again, you have to go to the PvP section to put your pets on, and Berserk it's just the number one pet you need for everything. It makes you stronger, it makes you hit harder, take less damage. It really is an amazing pet. When you're a low level, I would recommend the duck, because it kind of has an attack. Like, its equipped effect is an attack, and it'll just add to your damage. And then the fairy. These are the first 3 pets you can go after in the game. It's one of the first things I think you should do as a new player. But yeah, every red gem's going into boosting this. As you progress the game, if you do get to unicorn is also a healer. The setup would be this berserk at 50%, and then work on getting your fairy maybe to level 20 and your unicorn to level 30, because at level 30 it'll heal 50%, and this thing activates when you lose 50% health or more. So getting this to level 30, getting that to level 20 is a good start. On my main account, they're both maxed, but like I said, that's a good start. But in the meantime, Let's assume we're all new players watching this. So we will stick with the duck and the fairy. Secondly, in skills. Again, you have to go to your PvP section because you can equip it in 1, but in PvP, if you have nothing equipped, you'll have no skills. So anytime you're trying to do PvP, whether it's even your avatar, if you're picking an avatar to use, you got to go to PvP. But for skills, specifically for PvP, again, I'm no master. This is kind of the skill setup I'm using. There are some keynotes you should know. Certain skills have lasting effects like poison, weakening, stun, bleeding. You can find them all up here in the top left corner. It tells you what they do. But there are... Actually, I never really realized that. Okay, so any of these effects right here, if you do it, your awakening skill is going to activate. Or their awakening skill is going to activate. So if you stun them, their awakening skill, it'll remove it'll debuff and remove everything off a player, which I think is very important to know. But things like burning, this causes a burn, and that's not on the list. Poison, that's not on the list. Bleeding, that's not on the list. These things don't affect your awakening skill. So let me try to illustrate this a little better. Let's look. Okay. No, I mean, that guy will crush me. Okay, this is a good one. So he has Lion's Roar, which is a stun, and then weakening, right? As soon as he uses it, my awakening is going to go, and he has silence after that. So as soon as he uses it, my awakening is going to go off. I'll get the damage of the initial attack, but the lingering, so the stun and I'm unable to move, that'll be debuffed. The weakening, that'll be debuffed, and the silence, it'll all be debuffed. And it lasts for depending on what awakening you are, but it should last, by the time he gets to prep and he reuses these, it should still be in effect. So let's have a look at that. So notice down here at the bottom, awakening, right? He used it, and I instantly used that. And I killed him. I wish that lasted a bit longer. Let's try to find another one. Okay, this guy, but he's got nothing of lingering effect. Okay, let's try this one. I mean, weakening's there, but it's not going to have an effect. And I'll probably crush this guy. But again, just notice, when weakening takes place, my awakening down here will go off. So, bam, he does a weakening, and then my awakening goes off. And then notice how his awakening's not going off, but he's being poisoned, he's being burned, and it's a lasting effect. This isn't necessarily the route you have to go. It's one of the routes I've been going. What's interesting is, or what you can do is, I notice it at high level play. So sometimes people will use this and they will use a stun, but they line it up so intentionally knowing awakening is going to block it, but it's the next wave of attacks. I think when you put a stun right there, you can, on the second or third attack, I think with prep, so the third attack, it will actually stun the person, and then you can do some other things. Again, play around with it, but those are good basics to know, I really do think. The skill setup I currently have, I'm just kind of winging it. It's not the best per se, but definitely you want to use the skills you're leveling, right? So my Wild Strike, that's probably the strongest skill in the game. One of them. At least is in the beginning and for a bit up until where I'm at, because it hits 7 times at whatever attack damage. So fully maxed 400%, 7 times, that's 28,000%. Your poison And when it says 5 seconds, just think of that as 5 extra attacks. So it's doing 240% 6 times, right? Which is good. The max is 400, so it'd be 4 times 6, 2400%. I use this, which is kind of a technique to replace absolute defense, which is kind of difficult to get. So if you notice the top players, they all have absolute defense right there, right? And it makes you invincible for 5 seconds, 6 seconds actually, I think. So this is kind of my attempt at mimicking that. You'll notice lower players, they don't do that. They don't really know. Whether it's a smart move on my part, I don't know, but I have had some. Let's try to fight like a stronger guy. Okay. I mean, this guy is just as strong as me. He has more attack damage, flat attack than me. He has a lot less percent though. Ooh, he has a legendary, a really good legendary weapon. That's probably why his attack is so much higher. But he's beating me in HP. He's beating me in defense. His 21 ratio is off. I don't know why he's lacking so much there. He's probably invested into things like dodge. His skills are not very good at all. But nonetheless, let's have a go. Yeah, I crushed him. And that's, I would say, the biggest reason why I crushed him there is my Berserk on my pet is leveled, and I'm using strong skills that I have leveled up. So Wild Strike, I mean, as a new player, I think it hits hard right away, and it can do some serious damage. But some other skills to think about. I mean, you could do a setup like this. Actually, here, let me pause the game. I'll go into my other account. Hold on one second. Okie dokie. So now we're going into my main account. Okay, PvP. 1.892 million. That's odd because when I looked at it, it said 1.95. That's weird. Anyways, skills, PvP. I guess I should just show you first. But again, all these things do not trigger awakening, which is why I'm using them. I am constantly kind of playing with this. It's once you get to a higher level and you go to PvP, I'll show you an example right now. Never mind my character. I thought it was like a funny joke. Like if you lose to that. So it shows me rank 2, rank 11. If I refresh, more than likely I'm going to get the same people. Right? And I did. I got rank 1 changed, but it's a great way to reface the same person's skills. If you lose, you can tweak your skills, go back in and try to find something that beats them. Again, this is much more advanced, but PvP kind of pays the same up until the top 10. So it's like top 10, top 100, then like top 1,000. I think that's how it goes. So it's like below 100, you'll get 50 points and some green gems. Above 100, you'll get 100 points and some gems. And then I got rank 6, that gave me 150 points, which was worth it. But yeah, let's have a go. So he's got weakening on there and he has stun. That stun might be timed really well. This skill can be scary sometimes, but let's just have a go. He's got me crushed with flat attack. He's much stronger. He hasn't actually allotted anything to HP percent. He's put it all into attack damage percent, and his skill damage is low. So he's not following the 20-1. But again, I don't fully understand this, so let's have a go. Let's just see how I do. So my bleeding takes effect, all those things. My awakening's been triggered. His hasn't. Wow, see, I crushed him. Another thing to point out, though, not that, like, the attacker always has the favor. So if he attacked me, he'd probably destroy me. But let's just keep going. This combo I've seen, and it's a pain in my ass. The Firebird, which is legendary, and Weakening. Those have been a pain in my ass. And then he has Wild Strike and Venom's Breath. They deal a lot of damage. I get why he's doing it. It's very common for people to put Absolute Defense, which is invincibility, in like 2 or 3, sometimes 1. But let's just keep going. He's ranked 10. So my awakening's up. His shit ain't working. Mine is, because I haven't triggered his awakening. It seems like I'm gonna win this. No. Yep. But that guy's, I mean, he's only level 856. That guy's really strong for his level. He'll, once he hits 1,000, he'll be a pretty hard force. Maybe I'll just do one more. Oh, those guys will fucking destroy me. Like, look at them. 2.7 million flat attack, 3 million flat attack. Like, that is an insane amount of money they put into this game. Not to mention they're 1,100 plus. That's crazy. Yeah, see, and it's not going to change. So maybe I'll try to refresh it once more, but if not, I'll just show you them. This is an odd skill setup, or an uncommon one, rather. But I'm more inclined to believe he knows what he's doing than me, except for this. So actually, that's a good little thing to point out as well. Skills. So he's using this. It gives HP recovery 30% and defense, 20%. The cooldown is 30 seconds and the duration is 6 seconds. Now, your blue skills, you have the same things here. So, look, this is HP recovery 30%, and then my level 6 Holy Touch, HP recovery 36%, which is higher. Defense is 50%. Defense on this is only 20%. Cooldown is 30 seconds. Cooldown on this is 18. The duration, 5.6 seconds. On this one, 6 seconds. So the only thing that's winning is 6 seconds. It is like a couple fragments of a second, really. But everything else is better with this blue skills. But people see legendary and they think, oh, legendary skills are the greatest. And I mean, aside from abs, they're not. They're not. Same with this one, okay? So defense, damage taken down is 20%, defense 20. Here, damage taken down is 27%. So this thing, it does increase your defense, but the cooldown is 30 seconds. The cooldown here is 18 seconds. And we've already, I don't know if I mentioned it, but defense in this game really is kind of overrated and shit. Maybe in PvP it makes a difference, but in single player play, you really don't need it that much. In fact, the guy ranked first in my server, let's see him. Good old Jan. So Jan, who's higher than me, look at his duck, level 0. He's put 0, like he has defense, but he never invests into it. And he's first in my silver, or in my server. So I think that speaks volumes. Anyways, let's have one more go. This video is getting really long. Hopefully you've stayed this long. Let's have a go at this guy, though. So yeah, in terms of that, I would use Holy Touch. I wouldn't use that. And I've noticed what seems like players that invest a lot of money into this game, their knowledge might lack a little bit, but they're so strong it doesn't matter. Yeah, he's gonna destroy me so bad. But at least I'm putting up a fight. Right now, you can see abs going, I'm invincible, and then here comes the pain. I'm not even touching him. Oh, I kind of did something there. No, done. There's no chance. No chance. He's way too strong. And what kind of weapon is that? I gotta see. Skin. Yeah, so he's VIP 10, which is crazy. VIP 10. That's insane. Yeah, that's thousands of dollars into that account. Um, and I put money into my account, about like 5 or 600, which is a little embarrassing, but I did it. Whatever. Um, yeah, I think that's it. In terms of skills, play around. Your main hitters though, Venom's Breath, which is good and has a lingering effect. Your Wild Strike in the beginning is very good. Use what you got as a new player. So your gray skills is what you're going to focus on. Scar has massive potential. I'm pretty sure it hits 3 times. So look at that 800, like my 800. Look at it at like 2400. This up close, I think hits twice, but if you have a little distance, it hits 3 times. So you can double that. And the beautiful thing about gray skills is they have really short cooldown times. So, you know, this in 14 seconds hits 800%, but this in 7 seconds hits at least twice, if not 3 times, and that's 800. So you could argue that this is much stronger than this, but this does have stun. So little things like that you got to always take into effect. People get new skills, they're like, whoa, this does 560%, right? And it's a blue skill and they'll equip it, but like I said, this does more than 500. It hits a couple times. This hits 3 times. It's killer. Like as a new player, this skill, massive. And then if you're lucky and have this, you can get damage taken down, or you can maybe use a healer somewhere in there. Prep is always good if you want to repeat your skills. Yeah, that's about it. I think that's a good little basic guide to PvP. Hopefully this wasn't hopefully this wasn't long, and hopefully it wasn't too much, but yeah.